You've given everything to someone who gave you conditions. You stayed when they left. You explained yourself when they misunderstood you on purpose. You forgave things most people would have walked away from the first time. And somewhere deep down, a quiet part of you always knew, but you stayed anyway. This isn't weakness. Psychology says it's something far more complicated than that. And if you've ever been loyal to someone who didn't deserve it, this might be the first time someone actually explains why.
Let's start with problem number 1. You were taught that love is something you earn. For a lot of people, loyalty to the wrong person starts long before that person ever entered the picture. It starts in childhood. Maybe affection in your home felt inconsistent. Maybe approval depended on how well you performed, how little you asked for, how good you were at not being a problem. And so your nervous system learns something early. Love is not something you simply receive. It's something you work for. You prove yourself into it. Psychologists call this an anxious attachment style, and what it does, quietly, over years, is wire you to feel most comfortable in relationships where love feels uncertain, not because you enjoy the pain, but because uncertain love feels familiar, and the brain, above almost anything else, moves toward what it recognizes. So when someone gives you warmth sometimes and coldness other times, part of you doesn't register that as a red flag, it registers it as home.
The second problem, which is even more common than the first one, is that you see the potential, not the pattern. There's something about certain people, the ones who are charming when they want to be, the ones who have moments of real vulnerability, real softness, that make you think, this is who they actually are. If I just stay patient enough, if I love them well enough, this version will become the permanent one. Psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement, and it is, without exaggeration, one of the most psychologically powerful forces in human behavior. When reward comes unpredictably, sometimes they're kind, sometimes they're cruel, and you never quite know which one you'll get, the brain becomes more fixated, not less. It's the same mechanism behind slot machines. The uncertainty doesn't push you away, it pulls you deeper. So your loyalty isn't blind. You're not imagining the good in them. The good is real, it's just not consistent. And no one warns you that potential, without change, is just a story you tell yourself to stay.
The third, and maybe the worst one, is that leaving feels like giving up on yourself. People rarely talk about this part, but the longer you stay loyal to someone, the more that loyalty becomes tied to your own identity. To leave them starts to feel like admitting that all those years, all that patience, all that love you gave, it meant nothing, that you were wrong, that you wasted something. Psychologists call this the sunk cost fallacy. It's the reason people stay in jobs they hate, investments that are failing, and relationships that are hurting them. The more you've put in, the harder it becomes to walk away, because walking away means facing what you already lost. But here's what that logic quietly steals from you. Every day you stay to protect yesterday, you lose one more day of tomorrow. If any of these three felt like it was written about you, it probably was, because the people who love the most loyally are often the ones who were taught the hardest lessons about what love costs, and they carry that lesson into every relationship, giving and giving, staying and staying, hoping that eventually someone will finally stay for them. You are not broken for loving this way. You are not weak for having stayed, but you deserve to know that loyalty is only a virtue when it's given to someone who is trying to deserve it. Not every person who needs you is good for you, and not every relationship that's hard is one worth fighting for. Sometimes the most loyal thing you can do is finally be loyal to yourself.